Good evening, everybody, and welcome to another episode of You, Me, and He. I'm your host, Rob Lambert. I'm joined by my co-hosts.
I know I've changed my name the last few episodes, but this is Josh Frankenstein.
Whoa. This is weird. Wow. Man, this is Drew Carroll. What's up, guys?
He's got a new lease on life over there.
Man.
I am back.
That's right. Just he's here. He's not afraid to show his true colors. There he is, Josh Frankenstein, ladies and gentlemen. Well, hey everybody, welcome to the show. Glad you're listening. Make sure that you check us out on social media at youmehepodcast. Check us out on Patreon, patreon.com/youmehepodcast. Great way to get access to exclusive content. We were just talking about the Oscars. We were talking about what we do in the shadows, the movie, not literally what we do in the shadows. So some good stuff over there on Patreon, so make sure you check that out. Peter, wake up, Peter. Anyways, fellas, it's good to be back with you. I don't know about you, but I've had a pretty crazy week, and part of that crazy week was an awesome story. Or sorry, not an awesome. It's not really a story, but just a discussion that I got into in my workplace. So I don't know about you guys, but I'm not a big fan of toilet seat covers. How do you guys feel about toilet seat covers?
I feel like they save my life every time I go into the bathroom.
For real? Like that little tissue paper on the porcelain? Like that?
I don't agree with that statement whatsoever. I'm the guy that like empties the half a roll of toilet paper on the side to wipe that sucker down.
Oh yeah, I pre-wipe for sure.
Yeah, and then I figure like, what's that little 1/64th of a millimeter piece of tissue paper gonna do to protect my bottom? So I'm like, whatever. I just wipe this sucker down. And let's get business over with,
and then just go bareback on.
Yeah, dude. Basically. So
yeah, that's not what I do.
Drew, do you like double up on the toilet seat covers?
I wipe it down because dudes always have to pee on it. You know,
which I don't understand.
I don't get it, dude. At some point, you're going to sit there too. Maybe not in this bathroom, but at some bathroom that is not at your house, you're going to have to sit down.
Here's my thing. When I go into a public restroom, if the urinals are taken and I have to walk into a stall, it's really easy to lift your right foot.
Yep, with the foot,
and
dude.
Push
don't even have to
the toilet seat up without touching it. It's not difficult at all.
Yeah, dude.
So it drives me crazy when I walk into a bathroom and I see nothing but yellow liquid all on the toilet seat. It drives me crazy.
Drink more water, fellas.
Yeah.
Number 2, just do that simple act and lift the toilet seat.
Did you guys ever see the second Jumanji? Welcome to the Jungle?
Yes.
Jumanji, Welcome to the Jungle.
I still haven't seen it yet.
There's a line in there, dude, because, Jack Black, his character's actually a teenage girl in real life, but he's just playing, 45-year-old man as a teenage girl. And she has to pee for the first time using her manhood, right?
Oh, okay.
And so like the guy who the high schooler that is The Rock, or the guy that The Rock is emulating, Dwayne Johnson is emulating as a high schooler, keeps telling him it's very important to aim. Right? Like you need to aim. And then Kevin Hart, who's like the school jock, but is smaller than The Rock, is like, why do you keep saying you need to aim? What the hell's the matter with you? Right? Like you say something like that. Well, now I know. It's because the public restroom, someone is actually saying it's very important to aim. It's like, come on, man. What's the matter with you? Like, are you pinching it too hard, or are you like standing to the side, or are there other issues that we don't know about? Like, come on. It's just ridiculous.
Okay, quick sidebar. When you say, I haven't seen the movie, when you say Jack Black is actually a high school girl in Jack Black's body, it just reminds, and then having, trying to figure out how to pee for the first time, it just reminds me, what was the movie where the person got really mad at their friend and they were like, you think you're so cool because you can pee with your penis?
Little Giants.
Yeah, dude. No, wait, not Little Giants, was it?
No, it was a movie
where the girl played.
Yeah. I thought they just told her
The
like
icebox?
Yeah, icebox.
No.
Yeah.
Wasn't there a movie where where it's like a girl got trapped in a guy's body also or something, and then she started having a crush on her friend who was a guy?
The hot chick with Rob Schneider.
There you go. There you go. I'm pretty sure it was that.
Yes, I think you're right.
So she gets trapped in a guy's body, and then her friend starts to fall in love with her, and then they have a falling out, and then when she gets mad, she yells at her, "You think you're so cool because you can pee with your penis?" Random sidebar, sorry.
Yeah, that was Little Giants.
Oh my gosh. You joke, but Little Giants is an excellent film. I don't know if a lot of people have seen that one, but
have you seen it again since you were a kid?
I mean, I probably saw it 15 years ago.
Andrew had to have loved it. Didn't it have Devin Sawa?
Did it?
Did it have Devin?
I don't know.
As the quarterback, wasn't he like?
Yes. Oh my gosh, I think you're right.
Okay.
I think you're right. It had Al Bundy, dude.
It did have Al Bundy too.
It sounds like you guys loved it.
I did. I think it's a good movie.
Okay,
dude.
but dude, you have to watch it in adulthood in order to really decide that, because as a little kid, yeah, I thought Neverending Story was amazing. I bought it as an adult because I was like, oh, I remember this being so kick. It was terrible, dude. That movie sucked.
Is that like the earth-shattering moment that I had when I watched Star Wars for the first time as an adult, and I was like,
oh,
this is god awful.
Oh, I don't agree with you there.
Dude, it's not good, man. It's not well written.
Move on.
Are you talking about the original trilogy?
Yes, I'm talking about the very first A New Hope, Episode 4, not well written. I'm sorry, dude. You used to be into cinema. You cannot sit back and say, oh, that was a masterpiece.
You used to be into cinema.
Apparently, this is some kind of old-timey sign. You used to be in the cinema, good man.
That's not actually what I sound like, but, I don't know where that came from.
I think you're so cool because you can pee with your penis. Anyways, so we got into this conversation about toilet seat covers, and there's legitimately people in the office who...
I forgot we were talking about toilet seat covers.
Full circle, baby. Full circle. So there's people legitimately in the office who use the toilet seat cover, and I don't get it. Like, that little bit of tissue paper is not going to protect you from anything.
It's not.
And
especially herpes, or from what I've been told.
True confessions, folks.
Oh my gosh.
Look, we had a lot of fun here tonight, but there is no cure, ladies and gentlemen. The more you know.
Oh my gosh.
So, but for me, I am not a toilet seat cover user. I'm kind of like Josh. I'll give it the like super awesome wipe down, and then I just go for it. But here's the thing. Let me ask you a question, because this was part of the debate. I would personally rather walk in to like a toilet seat that is just like soaked with somebody who was there prior, and I'm going to have to wipe that bad boy down and clean it up, and then I use it and everything's good. I'd rather have to do that than walk in and have the toilet seat be completely clean, but when I sit down, it's warm.
Really? I'm kind of thinking the guy before me.
Yeah.
No.
Doesn't smell that bad, and I got a warm toilet seat. Solid. Thanks, dude. You would rather... Dude, you're gross.
Wait, what?
You're gross. You would rather walk in to a seat that is just cold and covered in piss than a clean one.
Whoa. How do you know it's clean?
Well, he just said, it's dry.
We'll call it pre-wiped. That's what we'll call it.
I'm saying is...
Well, yeah, they're not clean. That's why I use the cover. Even when you wipe it down, dude, all that is still there.
Here's the problem that I have with the toilet seat cover.
All those UTIs,
you
all
can
that.
see the toilet seat through the toilet seat cover. Like, there's no protection there.
Dude, it's a barrier. It's just it's a protective barrier, bro.
I feel like
that's even stopped me from hitting it on the front side.
You're gonna have to bleep this, but I feel like the toilet seat cover would be the same as using a napkin as a condom. Like, it's just not gonna stop anything. Like,
no, that's totally different, dude.
I don't think it is.
It is.
Dude, you don't find the warm just previously used, like right before you.
You're weird, dude.
Nice and roasty, toasty toilet seat from somebody else's butt, warming it up.
You
don't
are
find that
probably the kind of guy that only poops in public restrooms. You're like, you wake up at 6:30. You're like, I'll be right back, babe. Gone to Dunkin' Donuts to take a dump right after Steve.
It's really funny that you use Dunkin' Donuts as like the example. It's kind of ironic.
There's one like 2 blocks from my house.
This is the way that I see it. Like if you're sitting on a cold toilet seat, whoever was there first, that's been resonating. Like that's just been sitting
Just like
the entire time,
stewing.
Whereas if you follow somebody in and you reuse the toilet seat like just seconds after, that's kind of like 5-second rule.
Dude, no.
It's actually safer.
I think science would disagree with you.
Dude, somebody's
Okay,
big.
I would really like to hear your scientific explanation.
I don't have one
right now.
I'm just saying, I'm pretty sure that's false.
Dude, some dude's big, sweaty butt warmed that seat for you.
Home
and then you go
Depot.
and sit down.
I worked at Home Depot, dude, and I heard so many nasty dumps when I was working there, dude. And you're trying to tell me that if you were to go, dude, jump off as fast as you can. Don't even worry about the pants. Deal with that when you get out here. I'm going to jump in there as fast as I can because it's safer and less gross this way. I just don't see it, dude.
I can't get over it, dude. It's my wife, when we were talking about it, she called it the butt-to-butt intimacy, that warmness.
Yeah.
I can't take it. I don't want it. I can't handle it.
Butt intimacy.
It
Yeah,
sounds
dude, like
you
somebody
do
else's...
want it. That's what you've been taught. You've been promoting it for 5 minutes.
No, I'm saying somebody else's warm butt, their warmness of their butt then touches my butt, and our butts are warm together, and it's just not okay, dude.
That is a really, really intimate way of thinking about it.
Was he not just saying he would rather
Yeah.
have that than the cold piss stain?
Yeah.
No. I'm saying the opposite. I would rather have the cold seat than a warm seat. This entire time,
That's
I'm
also
saying,
gross too. That is.
I don't
gross.
know, dude. I don't know.
It's all gross,
It's not a sweaty butt. I mean, if the seat's not wet, it's just warm. Like, I don't know.
dude.
Anyways,
I try to not even poop at my in-laws' house when I'm there for work. I would just rather do
Really?
it at home. Yeah.
I just need to hold it till I get home. I guess that's the thing. Okay,
But
anyways.
Andrew has this insane fear of public restrooms. He always has. I remember going back to when we were all younger. He's never enjoyed them. It's probably because a lot of his life experiences have been really terrible in public restrooms. So
Well, that explains it.
Or not making it to them.
Yeah, that's true.
wait, you're
It's
the
always
guy
the
that I'm
finish
always
line.
cleaning up after.
It's the finish line he never seems to make it to.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
Think
yeah,
about
serious.
that next time you sit down on one of those things bare. Is I was the guy that used it before you.
Or attempted to.
You're all, I'll
Attempted
just
to,
wipe
yeah.
it up. No big deal.
Oh, all right. All I'm saying is, dude, the toilet seat cover doesn't do anything. All right, Josh, how are you doing, my friend?
I right now at this very moment, I'm not doing very well. I'm just, I feel like I'm having to re-examine my life, and it's really this week. You want me to talk about this? Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Okay, let me get back on track here. So I killed a guy this week.
Okay. Well, thanks for listening, everybody.
Should I leave?
Potentially.
Someone looking for you.
Brindlebeard, the wise, is no longer with us.
Oh yeah,
Oh, no.
yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Brindlebeard is. I
Dude,
cut him
why?
down.
Why?
Why?
Yeah.
It just wasn't me, dude. It just wasn't me.
Was the weight of being a man too much for you?
Oh, my face is too heavy.
It's like the fourth freaking time I've had to listen to that bullcrap this week. Oh, you know what's really sad is when you hear it from people who have never grown facial hair. Oh, was the weight of being a man just too much for you? I don't know.
please.
Let me know when you grow pubes.
Dude.
There's that saying,
looks-
dude, once you go beard, you can't go back.
No, I went
Oh,
back.
that's not it.
Yeah, no, I went
No,
back.
it's once you grow a beard, you're no longer afeared. I think that's something like that. Dude, it looks so good. What happened?
I got it. It didn't look good. Andrew talks about like you got to get past the point of it, like looking scraggly. Like my facial hair started to curl. You guys remember when I had like really long curly hair?
Yeah, what do you think happens to my hair?
Yeah, no, I couldn't do it. It was all over the place. I looked disheveled. It's not good for a professional environment, for one.
I bet you there's some killer beards.
Yeah, they're all in the union where they don't have to worry about being fired. So, they have that going for them. What?
Can I share with you something that changed the life of my beard when somebody just gave me this gem of wisdom? Once you can get your beard just a little bit long enough, you blow dry it.
Yep.
And all the curl and all that stuff goes away, and you just get that sweet beardness going on, man. You should have came to us before you did this, Josh. That's all I'm saying.
No, I shouldn't have, because to be honest with you, I really like looking more 27 than 46. So, that was the other factor that I just didn't get to.
Who told you you look 27?
Huh? I get it all the time. All the time.
Oh my God.
Let's just say that I used to have a brother that looks that now looks older than I do.
You're catching up.
Well,
Trust me, dude, the more
rest
you
in
lose-
peace, your beard, dude.
The more you lose the hair on top, the more you grow out the hair on bottom.
Yeah, I have noticed that to be the case with a lot of individuals, actually. So, yeah. And then outside of that, I was listening to this other podcast this week, and it made this comparison that just, it felt like a sucker punch to the gut. Like, it actually compared one of my all-time, favorite bands to one of the worst beers on the planet, PBR.
I thought those were going to be reversed.
Yeah.
Whoa,
no.
who would do that, Josh?
I don't know who would do that. I don't know who would do that at all. But if you want to check out a little podcast called Everybody in the Conference Room, you can actually hear the asinine quote about Nickelback and PBR. And I got words for those people. You don't know what you're talking about when it comes to good music. Okay? You don't. No, but other than that, I do want to say, well done on your office following. Not bad. So I have to say.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah. Coming on March 15th, everybody in the conference room, new podcast from Rob and some friends. So check that out. I just think that a lot of people love Nickelback and they're afraid to admit it. You know what I mean?
I absolutely know that's the case, dude. I know it is. I've heard a lot of people say it. Like, they like to make fun of me because I'm open about it. And then, once you get a few beers in them, they're like, they're really
a few PBRs.
Yeah, a few PBRs in them. They're really not that bad of a band, actually. I don't know why I like them, but they are really catchy, and like I like to hate them. Well, what the hell's the matter with you, dude? Like, why do you feel like you gotta hide under this like cloud of whatever? Like, I just don't get it.
I mean, I understand, dude, when you see Chad Kroeger. I understand you not wanting to like him. I get it. I feel the same way, but if you just close your eyes,
Yeah.
and make him go away.
If you just close your eyes for a second.
He's got an incredibly punchable face, but he's got the voice of an angel, people. Come on. He's not trying to be a movie star. He's just trying to entertain you with tunes, man. With musical.
Yeah,
So.
Doesn't help that he's Canadian.
definitely doesn't help.
Doesn't help his case.
Dude, speaking of Nickelback and Canadians, I heard a new single from Avril Lavigne this week.
Oof.
Continue.
Yeah, that was my response. We're listening to this radio station on Spotify or Pandora or something, and I'm listening to this voice, and I'm like, "There's no way." And I say, "Alexa, who sings this song?" And she's like, "This is blah 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 by Avril Lavigne." And I was like, "I thought so. Skip this song."
Was it super pop?
Oh man, I don't even remember what.
Is
the
she
name of it
still
was.
with Chad Kroeger?
No.
Oh,
they,
okay.
They
All
split
right.
up a long time ago. Dude, like shortly after they got married. It didn't last long.
It shouldn't have.
I think it was in the months.
Probably never should have started, but
I feel like that conversation was like, "Hey, you're from Canada. I'm from Canada. Hey, you
dude.
sing? I sing. We should get married." Okay.
you like PBR? I like PBR.
And she like
Dude,
woke up from her bender and was like, Oh God, this guy's like 50.
See, that just goes to show nothing good comes from PBR.
Dang it.
Anyway, that was my week. Drew?
I had a pretty good week. We went to, me and my wife and our friends, we went up and went to a concert in Sacramento last weekend.
Oh, baby.
We saw Nothing More, which was absolutely incredible, mind-blowing. So it was kind of funny. There was a few things that happened. I did have my first beer in like a year.
How'd that
dang.
go?
What was it?
I actually had a sampler because we went to the brewery, the Dust Bowl in Turlock.
5 different types of PBR.
No, no. So I couldn't decide what I wanted, and the waitress came to our table like 5 times.
That's a good place, by the way, the Dust Bowl.
Yeah, and so you have to circle, when you do the sampler, you have to circle which beers you want, and then they put them on this tray for you like in numerical order.
Yep.
So that you can see which one is which. So I just circled a bunch, dude. I wasn't even like reading them.
just give me the beer.
Yeah.
You're only supposed to have 5. He circled 8.
The only one
They're
that
like, you, sir, have had too many.
the only one I knew about and I knew I wanted was the Nitro Stout, and it was
It's
amazing.
good.
Yeah.
It's super good.
So, but I also got this one called Dump Truck of the Gods. And
That sounds appetizing.
dude,
Yeah, it does.
It was terrible. The IBU on it was like 150. I mean, it was super bitter.
Whoa.
Yeah, it was really terrible. But so in this little sampler glass, dude, I didn't even get to the end of it, and I was already buzzed.
Oh, no.
I'm like, I have 4 more of these to drink.
You had literally like 6 ounces of beer, dude.
Oh, if that.
Yeah.
He's a cheap date, man.
Yeah,
He's getting destroyed
seriously.
on the sampler.
Well, it just kind of goes to show like what happens to your metabolism and what you can not take in after living off of vegetables for
Well,
years.
I was
Mother
on a
Nature's
pretty
turning
empty
on you.
stomach too at the time, but so yeah, that happened, dude. And then we get to the show, and I'm just not really the kind of person anymore that likes to like get down in the mix of the show. I don't really want to be down in the front anymore.
You want
I
to
don't
sit
wanna
and
be in
enjoy
the-
your medal.
yeah.
Yeah, absolutely, dude.
I don't want to be in the nosebleeds, but I don't want to be on the floor. I just want to be like in the vanilla middle,
Those expensive seats.
second level, yeah, and just watch what's going on.
The comfortable ones.
Yeah.
So I didn't get that. I was down up in the front.
Oh, no.
And dude, I don't know what it is. So I thought things would change for me. Like now that I'm in my 30s, I thought that my experience would somehow be different down there.
Like people would respect you and your space.
No, I don't. I don't expect that. I guess I sort of expected that.
Doesn't happen that way, bro.
So we're down there, dude, and me and my buddy Luke, and then my wife and his wife, and we're kind of hanging out there, dude. I don't know what it is. I'm like a magnet to the incredibly overweight grinding girls.
Yeah.
Dude, so Elizabeth is on her phone and she's watching like a Snapchat. This is in between bands.
Yeah.
She's watching a Snapchat from some friends of ours that were at a wedding.
You know what you should do from now on when you go to these concerts? Don't take a hat with you. I think you'll be okay.
Yeah. Really show my age.
They're bumping into you. They're like, oh, sorry, sir. You see Drew down there going, everybody calm down. Just take it easy,
I'll have
everybody.
to put on like a polo shirt.
With a pocket protector.
So Elizabeth is watching this Snapchat and it's of some of our friends that were at a wedding. And this girl who's behind me, Elizabeth is in front of me. She leans over and she goes, "Is that your guys' wedding?" And I was like,
gosh.
"Who are you?" What? And she was like, "That video, is that your guys' wedding?" I'm like, "No." My wife's playing a Snapchat. Why do you care? Like, this is so
Get
weird.
out of here.
Yeah, dude. And then so she turns around and then she starts dancing. Well, dude, her butt is just grinding on my butt.
Butt to butt intimacy, dude. Yeah.
Okay, so
Who needs a public restroom?
everyone has had butt chafing, but have you ever had butt cheek chafing?
Oh.
That's what I got. Dude. And it didn't get better as the show went on. It seemed like more of them gathered. Like this was their meeting place.
You had chapped flaps.
Dude, on planet Earth, they talk about bears and how bears will travel hundreds of miles to scratch their back on the same tree. I felt like that tree, dude.
Oh my God.
I felt like all of the biggest girls in the venue were traveling, dude.
Oh man.
Hello, I'm Richard Attenborough. After traveling for miles and miles, they have congregated in this one place to grind their buttocks on Drew Carroll's buttocks.
Dude,
Wow.
it was super uncomfortable, man. So, and just when I thought like things couldn't get any worse, so we're all chewing gum, and I go, you know what? I don't want my gum anymore. And then Luke's wife is like, oh, here, let's put it on this piece of plastic. And so everyone put their gum on this piece of plastic, and then we threw it on the floor. And I was like, one of us is going to step on that. So, dude, they kicked the bottle like at some angle away from us. Don't see it again, right? The crowd winds up moving. Guess who steps in it?
You.
No
did.
way.
I did, dude. All 4 pieces.
Oh, man.
Did the grinding bears also find you in this new location?
Luckily, they had drifted at this point. But still, dude, it's just like an add-on to just uncomfortable night. So then I'm faced with my last task. I wore a hoodie in. Everyone knows you're not supposed to wear hoodies into shows if you're standing because you don't want to hold them. So I waited until the very last band, and I was like, I can't take this anymore. I got to take my hoodie off. So I took my hoodie off, and I'm sitting there holding it, and I'm like, man, I really don't want to hold this right now. And I'm like,
Please
I
tell me
really
you tied it around your waist.
and that was my thought. I was like, I really don't want to tie it around my waist. That looks
It's okay. It's okay. You could have improved your situation by tying it around your neck.
Well, this was my debate, right? So I'm sitting here going, okay, I can either drop the hoodie and just forget it,
Oh, what?
or I can tie it around my waist, or I can tie it around my neck. And I've never done either. So,
You're a dad now. It's time to tie it around
well,
your waist.
and then I sat there for about...
Actually, you probably should have just stuffed it in your fanny pack.
I went back and forth on it for a minute, and then I was just like, dude, I don't care anymore. And I tied it around my waist. And actually...
Attaboy. Welcome.
You finally crossed the final threshold into dadhood.
Dude, yeah. 5th year of marriage is right around the corner. She's not going anywhere. I can do this. If she's stuck through the balding, dude, she can handle the sweater around the waist.
That's so awesome. Oh my gosh.
So, yeah. Next time it's the seats for me for sure. I don't want any of that.
Pay the extra $25.
Speaking of uncomfortable situations, when we come back, fellas, in New Hampshire, there was Girl Scout cookies and a taser, and it was all good stuff. So stay with us. We'll be right back.
Hi, I'm Adam.
I'm Andy.
And I'm Rob, and we're 3 friends who work together
And love The Office.
And on March 15th, which just so happens to be Michael Scott's birthday, we're launching a watch-along companion podcast for The Office called
Everybody in the Conference Room.
The Office Watch-Along Companion Podcast.
That's a mouthful.
And that's what she said.
Join us as we go episode by episode celebrating our favorite Office moments.
Beloved characters.
And rank Jim's pranks from best to even better.
Join us every Friday starting March 15th for Everybody in the Conference Room, wherever you get your podcasts.
Unless there's downsizing.
Wait, there's going to be downsizing? Should I be worried?
Maybe. All right, welcome back, everybody. And guys, I was combing the web, and I came across a little something that I thought maybe would strike a little bit close to home. Drew, you know all about Girl Scouts and... Wait, that sounds weird. Girl Scouts and grocery stores.
Please elaborate. Please.
I don't remember what episode it was, but a while back you shared an awesome story about an altercation that you had with some Girl Scouts outside of a grocery store. Am I right?
It doesn't matter how you say it. It sounds bad, dude.
That's what the cop said.
Hey, speaking of cops, let's jump into this one. So this comes from a newspaper in New Hampshire called the Union Leader. And I don't know about you, but when I think about New Hampshire, I feel like nothing bad happens there.
I don't know. It's got a place. It's got something with a place called the Union Leader. It can't be good either.
But here we go. All right, so this happened in apparently a city called Plaistow? I don't know how you say it. But this was on March 4th, 2019, so this is very, very recent. The headline is, Police Used Taser on Combative Man During Girl Scout Cookie Sales Outside Grocery Store. Sound familiar, Drew?
All too, yes.
All too what?
Familiar.
Oh, okay.
So let's jump into this. It says, it was a wild scene for a group of Girl Scouts selling cookies outside Market Basket Saturday. That's an awesome name for a grocery store. When a man suspected of being under the influence of drugs became combative and was eventually tasered twice by police as people created a human shield to block the Girl Scouts' view.
Oh my gosh, to block their view. They're going to go home and watch rated R movies, people getting their heads blown off, and they can't watch a guy tripping out on drugs in front of the store. Why?
Because
it looks like
tasered,
so
bro.
much fun.
Dude, maybe he was just high on life.
How
and
am I
they
supposed to tell
misunderstood.
my kids not to do drugs after this?
So it says Officer Kyle Coakley said police responded to Market Basket around 3:20 p.m. after a manager called to report that a man was on the ground and, this is in quotes, not making any sense and yelling and screaming and possibly on drugs.
And possibly. I love that. And possibly on drugs.
He might just be laying down and yelling and screaming, but he might be on drugs also.
The earth is flat! The earth is flat!
So it says, police were told that the man was near the front entrance where a few Girl Scouts and their mothers were selling cookies. Coakley, which is the officer, said that the man was holding a pole. That sounds bad. And was continuing to yell, make random statements, and was foaming at the mouth when police arrived. He might have been yelling about flat Earth. You're right, Josh. He was getting so worked up, he was foaming at the mouth.
And the psychic vampires and all the lizard
That's right.
people. Oh, it was Alex Jones.
It was Alex Jones. It says here he kept yelling about the global elitists. Okay, no. He said another man who was with... So the officer says that another man who was with him told police that he was a recovering crystal meth addict. So he has just like some buddy who's like of complete sound mind hanging out with him, and it's like, guys, he's recovering for crystal meth.
What if everyone there was like, oh, okay. Just went about their business.
Oh, we get it.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
What's really kind of funny about the beginning of the story is that these people formed a human shield for the Girl Scouts not to be able to see, but they totally forgot about all the cell phones from the Girl Scouts that were raised up about 3 feet higher, taking a video of everything going on.
Well, dude, and you could still hear everything he's saying.
Yeah.
What are you really protecting here?
You stupid mother baby!
It's all those tough dads. You macho men.
You macho men with your sweaters tied around your
Dude,
waist.
I can only imagine the story they were telling when they went to work the next day. Oh, you wouldn't even believe it, dude. Oh, yeah. And then me and this other guy, they were probably all wearing pink. We had to grab them and rough them up a bit like the good old days.
Salmon, not pink.
Oh, yeah.
Salmon.
So the next quote is beautiful because we're talking about he's holding a pole, he's yelling, he's making random statements, he's foaming at the mouth. His buddy who's with him says he's a recovering crystal meth addict, and a person who was there in quotes said, "You could just tell something wasn't right."
Yeah. We also like to call this situation a relapsed recovering crystal meth addict.
Dang it. So police told the man that he would need to be evaluated at a hospital or be taken into police custody. His name's not been released. So Coakley, the officer, says he just started screaming swears, he started flexing his fists, and he started to stand up. Coakley said the man was flailing and all out of control, and he created concerns for the safety of officers, the public, and the Girl Scouts.
Wait a second. So he never even tried to even touch anybody, and they tased him. All he did was foam at the mouth, flex his fist, and try to stand up.
Well, hang on. So Coakley says...
Don't get out of control, Drew. Okay? the explanation's not over.
It says at one point, workers from the grocery store, customers, and others created a human shield to keep the Girl Scouts from witnessing the incident. So then this next quote, they were still standing there and still trying to sell people Girl Scout cookies as people were walking around.
Well,
Cookies! Get your cookies here!
I mean, it's a good move, dude. That's what I would do during petitioning is when there's chaos happening, you pitch people.
That's when you get signatures, right?
Yeah, it gives them something to do, and they could sit there and watch without being seen as like that's all they're doing is sitting there watching the incident.
Right.
Oh, yeah, I'll sign that. Oh, my God.
Oh, my gosh. So it says, given the safety concerns, Coakley, the officer, said he had to use his taser twice to subdue the man and try to get him into handcuffs. And he goes on to say that the police department had just got their tasers recently, and he was trained 2 weeks ago, so he's in good shape.
Perfect. I know what I'm doing. This ain't going to be a Fruitvale incident.
Oh, my gosh.
Wait, does anybody remember Fruitvale?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That BART officer who said he was reaching for his taser and shot a guy.
That's
yeah. It's pretty bad.
Oh, my gosh. So it says charges are pending, cases under investigation. A mother involved with the Girl Scouts who was with the girls during the cookie sales thanked the police and the employees for forming the human shield. They're freaking heroes, dude.
Dude, such warriors.
I know.
We conquered the day.
Yeah.
Evil came knocking, and we said, not today.
Dude,
now where's my award?
Get those people the keys to the city, bro. That's all I'm saying.
They probably will.
Yeah. So the mom says, that was a cookie booth to remember. I'm grateful to our community for thinking of the girls so quickly and protecting them from that. I love our village. There you go, dude.
I'm glad that somebody took time out of their day to write about this incident.
Yeah.
This anticlimactic.
Thank you, the union leader. Thank you.
Middle class, is your life so boring that we have to talk about this?
Well, I find it very concerning that in this day and age, some police department in New Hampshire just got tasers 2 weeks ago.
Dude. San Francisco police officers didn't have tasers. We did a petition about that last year.
Just guns. Just the guns.
Just the guns.
I'd like to see a city where they have nothing but tasers.
Or even less.
I mean, what you don't even need a taser when you have people who are so ready to be human shields. I mean, we're in good shape, right? Oh my gosh. All right. Well, hey, as we come to the end, fellas, let's head into that time that we always look forward to. Let's talk about what we've learned tonight. Number one, I think one of the most valuable things that we learned tonight is that it's always important to aim. I think
always.
that pretty much fits with a lot of things we talked about tonight. Just aim. It's good to have great aim.
Yes.
All right. Number two, we learned this week that Drew decided to go full dad mode, and we're so proud of you, Drew.
By the way, did you stuff your pants into your socks too?
He's wearing Birkenstocks and stuff.
Keep your pants from being trampled on.
No, I didn't do that.
At the end of the concert, he was like, "Hey guys, it's only about 9 p.m. Let's all head to the Olive Garden." Oh gosh. And number three, I think we learned that there's no problem that a human shield can't fix.
Do we know that? I don't think we know that at all. I can think of
try it out. We'll
multiples, actually.
Where the human shield didn't work.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, you might be right.
on.
Let's scratch that one.
I've seen people try to block highways. That didn't work out.
Just saying.
Well, that's kind of a downer. Well, hey, we just want to say thanks to everybody for listening and supporting the show. Make sure that wherever you get your podcasts, you go and leave us a review. And if you leave us a 5-star, it really helps out with the show. Tell a friend about the show. Make sure you also check us out on Patreon, patreon.com/youmehepodcast. And until next time, I'm your host, Rob Lambert.
I am Josh Frankenstein.
Dude, you are declaring that. Yeah, you are. And I'm Drew Carroll.
Dad Carroll. All right, have a good night, everybody.